Morning everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to Brave the Adventures, day 2, Blackpool September off-peak day. Just accessed as we did yesterday from the VIP entrance from the Big Blue after a great night's sleep, feeling really refreshed, raring to go. Today we're going to have a little bit more of a subdued day, I think. We're going to do some mop-up of some of the rides that we didn't get done yesterday, and really try to get round some firm favourites that we've had over the whole year, really. So I think we're probably going to go and get some food. We've not had breakfast yet, as we said in our room video. If you've not seen it, that breakfast is not included in the Big Blue. So we are going to grab something on park today because the food is always really reasonable. So we're going to grab a brunch and then head over. I think we're probably going to go over to Big Dipper, which we did ride yesterday, but I think we want to do it again because it is such a good ride. And then probably get some coasters in. Obviously yesterday we rode Valhalla 9 times. We're probably going to stay away from Valhalla today unless it calls us, which sometimes Odin does call us. But we'll see where we get to, and let's head over to Big Dipper. Another glorious weather day as we head to the Big Dipper, our first ride. It's another quiet day, I think, at the park. The park's been open now for about 20 minutes, so everything is obviously a walk on at the moment, but I do think we're in for another quiet day, so we should get lots of re-rides today. Park opening hours not at all bad, 11 till 5. We were really fortunate having a coaster room view that we did get to see the testing starting at 10:30 this morning, which is always a real treat. So everything seems to be running well, and hoping that we'll get lots of great re-rides on some of our favourites from 2024 today.
Just had a great ride there on Big Dipper. It was a walk-on, which was amazing. Park's nice and quiet again this morning. I think for a woody, it's quite a smooth ride, apart from the section just by the Big Blue Hotel where it's a little bit rough around the edges, but yeah, still packing a punch after 101 years.
And it was great that we walked straight on because it is only running on one train, so it does show you how quiet the park is today, that we could get straight on and there were empty seats. So yeah, definitely an ideal time if you can come in September.
So yeah, what's next?
I think next is steeplechase.
Of course.
Welcome to Steeplechase. This is a fast-paced ride with twists, jumps and turns, so you must remain seated, keep your seatbelt securely fastened at all times. As soon as the race begins, you must hold on to the grab rail until the end of the ride. Please follow instructions given by the ride operator. You must not cross the track at any time.
Just had a ride there on Steeplechase. I've got no words, to be honest, absolutely.
It's not like you to be speechless,
well,
is it?
It's nonsense of a ride today. It's so painful. It is a classic, which is why it's still here, but seriously.
That was the only reason that I chose it for one of our wrap-up rides for this video, really, was because it's a classic. And it is a lot of fun, but oh my god, my pelvis is shattered. Yeah. And it was very, very rough today. Much rougher than when we rode it in August, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But
what's going on today.
Yeah, it was good though, and we didn't queue for it. It's on a 3-horse operation. I think there's 9 horses in total, but it was running on 3 tracks today.
2 tracks.
3 tracks. 3 tracks it's running on. We'll argue about this all the way for the rest of this video if we're not careful, but it's running on either 2 or 3 tracks. But either whatever it's running on, it is painful today and it's not running well. Let's go and see what's next. Have hopefully a smoother ride. It will mean a lot to Rob to inform you that yes, Steeplechase is running on 2 tracks, and I do stand corrected today.
Just arrived at Derby Racer. We love this ride. It's one of only 3 of its kind still operating within the world. Hayley is also on her high horse. Give us a wave, Hayley. There we go. Really classic ride from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It actually goes really, really fast as well. So yes, there's no restraints as such. So it's a case of just hold on, sit tight, and enjoy the ride, which we're about to do.
finished a fabulous ride on Derby Racer, fantastically long cycle today. There were loads of horses empty, which if anything just makes it run even quicker. So really good, music was working, and me and Rob, we absolutely love the massive organ. So it's so good when you get some really good tunes. Absolutely loved it. On to Alice.
There she is. It's not swinging today. Like that, as we head over to Alice's Adventures, Rob has become Alice.
Yeah. You know, not for the first time either, but yeah, so excited to get back on Alice with a smell podge and amazing glow up that we've documented already this year. Opened the Pleasure Beach in 1962, endorsed by Walt Disney himself. Let's go and do this.
And we did miss the Pleasure Beach fan club event that was at the weekend, where you could actually walk the Alice tracks. And I do think that if the Pleasure Beach do lay that on again, I think that is something that we would love to do.
Please.
Yeah, please, Andy Highgate, bring this for us. We'd love to see it again. He's gone.
Just had a great ride there on Alice, an absolute classic of the Pleasure Beach. So I've still lost my voice from the big one yesterday. It's not coming back, it seems. We're now going to go on the newest dark ride at the Pleasure Beach, which is Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic.
One of my favourites.
It's such a good ride. It's a little bit bittersweet for me because it did replace Goldmine, which for me, I remember going on with my mum and dad back in the 90s, and it was a real classic of the Pleasure Beach. No longer here. Obviously it needed updating, and it was updated with Wallace and Gromit, which actually is a really good addition to the park. So yeah, we're going to go and give Wallace a ride.
And Gromit is standing behind us at the moment for meet and greet.
There he
so
is.
We can go and see Gromit afterwards.
There's that man with that massive Twix.
Brilliant. We've just seen a man with a massive Twix.
Biggest Twix you've ever seen.
On the big chocolate game, which I love seeing people win on it, because you actually do. You see loads of people win on these games, which for kind of theme park rides and like those fairground games, you never seem to see anybody win. But on this one, I see loads of people coming away with a massive chocolate bar.
Massive Twix. I've never seen a Twix like it. Anyway, I think it's time for Wallace and Gromit.
It is. A new ride for us today that we've wanted to ride for ages, because we are a huge fan of any water ride, as you know. So we went for SpongeBob's Splash Bash, which is really quiet over in Nickelodeon Land. It is quite quiet. Obviously most of the kids are back at school now, but there are some school trips today. So, and I think what's been new for the Pleasure Beach this year is having adult and toddler paths for parents who want to bring preschool age children. So that's something to consider if you do want to visit on an off-peak day and you haven't got children at school. Just got absolutely gushed on SpongeBob Splash Bash. I think it's time for me to join Rob in the crusade against preschool children. We'll see you on the other side. That completes our ride on SpongeBob Splash Bash. Rob is having the time of his life, absolutely trying to drench some children that are on this ride. It's really nicely themed. I really like SpongeBob and the characters, so this is just a lovely themed ride for kids. I wish it was a little bit longer, the ride cycle, actually, because particularly on a day where it's today, where it's quite warm, it's quite refreshing getting a little bit of a wet ride on the go today.
So this wasn't actually on the list today, Rugrats Lost River. But we
forget that
every time we forget that. But we decided to give it a go because it's such a sunny and hot day here. It's actually amazing to see this area of the park so busy today. I think there's a number of school trips and different groups visiting, which is really, really nice. A really strong shout out to Mark, who was the ride off as well on that dispatch. He's absolutely hilarious. He's taking no nonsense and making sure that everyone listens to the rules, but actually really, really funny as well.
Yeah, it must be really hard when you've
He's
got
at the end of his tether.
lots of young children
Yeah.
unaccompanied riding this ride.
Yeah.
And the Pleasure Beach do so well at keeping people safe,
Yes.
but also making it a really enjoyable day out. So thank you, Mark. You made our day at the Pleasure
Yes.
Beach really funny as well.
Dude, there's the what I think's crocodile. Haley thinks it's an alligator, but it's still here. Oh, there's Pleasure Beach Express going past as well.
Really interesting that we were asking about what happens when they have to evacuate this
Yeah.
ride, and we were told that actually they evacuate the ride onto the Pleasure Beach
Onto the Pleasure Beach Express.
So they have
It's
to wait
amazing.
for the train to come round if the ride stops. So again, that's why there's so much due diligence about making sure people don't stand up, making sure people stay safe, and making sure that people follow the rules, because it must be really difficult having to wait for the train to come round to get anybody off the ride.
Where's the bucket?
You know I like to spot a bucket on this
So I
ride.
think we've got a bucket on the right
There's always
today.
a random bucket that's placed on Rugrats. We're not sure why.
But originally, Bradley Beaver,
River Falls, isn't it?
no, Log Flume.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But now, obviously, due to the IP, we theme to Rugrats, and it is a really, really nice ride. We are going to probably get a little bit wet. It can be a bit of a soaker, so I'm going to switch off the recording, and we'll see.
Bucket!
The bucket's up the lift hill.
Bucket's up the lift hill today.
Amazing! That's so nice to see. Right, we'll see you on the other side.
Just off Rugrats, as always, Rob led with the line. We won't get
get
too
that
wet. Clearly, look at the state of me. I think that's the wettest I've ever got on Rugrats again. I say that every single time, and every time you lure me onto it, I do really enjoy that ride
good
though.
ride.
It is really good fun, and I do love to see. It's always on a 3-boat operation, so it's so nice to see other people as you go around. It's quite a short ride, but it is a really nice little log flume.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And it's a good day. I think we need to go back on that other water ride now.
Well, SpongeBob.
I think it's Valhalla.
Oh, we can't do Valhalla
Okay.
today.
Valhalla's done, so
Valhalla
sad.
is done because we haven't prepped for the kit. And if you've watched our video about what to pack for the Pleasure Beach, you will see that you need to be prepared for Valhalla.
Yeah,
we are not prepared today, but it's been really nice to come into Nickelodeon land.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see just above us there is what remains of the old monorail, which used to run right around the park, and which Darren mentioned in his video as well, one of the lost rides of Pleasure Beach. I think it'd be so nice if that was still in operation.
It would. And I think it's worth mentioning as well, whilst we were here, I actually got a new coaster credit today because I
yes.
finally got to ride the Blue Flyer, which I haven't ridden before. Rob has ridden it and
good.
said it was really
For
good.
me, it's
So
the history of that ride from the 1930s. It's a kids coaster really, and there's no height restriction, which is really, really interesting. But yeah, it's just really nice. It's just 3 smallish drops, but actually there's a bit of force to it. It's good.
it was brilliant. If anything, I would have liked to have had it on 2 laps because it is a little bit short, but that would obviously add to the queue time. And when it is primarily a children's coaster, you don't want children to have to wait for too long to have to get on a ride because they do find that difficult. But yeah, fantastic to add another coaster credit today.
So we're going to give Icon another go today. We're going to go for the front row, which we did yesterday, which is so good. I'm just saying, it's such a beautiful looking coaster. We've done so well with it at the park. It's crammed it in, so many elements, and it's a perfect fit. So yeah, can't wait to ride her again.
Oh, I love the way it links with all the rides, and I know you must get bored of me saying that, but seeing it with all the other coasters and the interactions that they have is just absolutely sublime. So there's very little queue here. As we said, it is very quiet here today. I think probably quieter than yesterday. There are a few school trips today, which is really nice to see, but they seem to be smaller children, so actually the queue for Icon remains low, and I have seen it go out with some of the seats not occupied, so I think we're going to be able to probably get straight onto Icon. It would be criminal not to ride front row, I think, today.
Yes, let's do
Let's
it.
go. So thank you for joining us as we've just had 2 fantastic rides on Icon, one on the front, one on the back. I still can't decide really which one I prefer, to be honest. We went on the back first, walked straight onto that, and I was thinking, yeah, I definitely am a back row rider. And then we went straight back round, again, walked onto the front, which was brilliant. And I just love the front as well. I love the control you get over the elements on the front, whereas on the back you are obviously whipped round a lot more, and the speed is there, which is great, but I do really love the control on the front. What do you think?
I think for me, it's the front. I think that view out of the station before that first launch is just something else. So yeah, I think it's front for me.
Yeah, I think what we've really liked, because this is the kind of detail that we like, we love kind of the theming and the music of the ride, and at the front you really get to hear that Icon launch before you go, which really sets you up for the ride. The whole theming music for this ride is just perfection. I could listen to it all day. I think you can actually get it on iPlayer, so probably one for us to download for our journey home. I think it's time for us to go and visit Coasters, which is our favourite bar here.
Get a glass of water.
Get a lovely glass of tap water, I think.
It's really warm today. It's
so
warm.
So warm here, and it's perfect to go and sit at Coasters, which sits right at the end of Icon, so you can continue to watch the trains go past as you enjoy a drink.
Just another quick look at the old Grand Prix track. It's really nice that the fountain's still going actually. We mentioned yesterday that obviously Grand Prix has been taken out next year. We mentioned that we would love to see an RMC dive coaster in its place. There isn't one currently in the UK and they're actually quite rare. But what would you like to see? What for you would be a good replacement for this classic ride? The first for us is going to be Bradley Beaver Sustainability Garden. It's a really nice addition to the park. It's not a ride, it's a bit just a walk through. Lots of nice foliage around.
So demure.
So demure is Hayley over here. And oh my god. Oh my goodness me. So we have one of the original boats from Drench Falls. And we mentioned Drench Falls yesterday. It's a log flume that operated from the 60s all the way through till 2007, I believe, when Infusion was put in its place. And look who's there. We've got Bradley himself, Bradley Beaver.
I'm going to give my beaver a cuddle.
Give your beaver a cuddle, Hayley. Lovely. Let's carry on. Let's see what else is going to come through for us in the Sustainability Garden. We've got the potting shed.
So exciting.
So nice, isn't it? It's so nice. Really good views of the old Grand Prix track as well, which we've talked about a couple of times already, so we're not going to go there. Who's this we've got here? The Chrysalis. Really educational. And it's nice that this is just in the heart of the park. We're encouraging wildlife with the lavender garden, the fountains here as well. Who's this?
Well, for people who need a little bit of a quiet time out of some of the busyness of the pleasure and some of the loudness, this must be quite a nice place if you just,
it actually is.
If you've got families or kids or people who do get a bit overwhelmed in
Yeah,
really busy
definitely.
situations. I think this would be quite a nice place
Absolutely,
to visit.
because it can be quite an overwhelming part really, because it's so busy. But yeah, as Hayley said, if there's people there with additional needs where just maybe a little bit of quietness is really going to help them. Some glasses there on the floor. Who's the glasses? Have you seen the glasses?
What glasses? Oh, someone's got their glasses.
Someone's
looking
got-
in the magic mirror.
Let's have a little look in the magic mirror. There we go, in the magic mirror. So nice. So yeah.
Bug Hotel. Bradley and Bella.
Oh,
Bella must be,
lovely.
Bradley's beaver wife.
I think he is Bradley's beaver wife. That's right. Yeah.
Or maybe they're just friends.
They could just be friends. So yeah, that was Bradley and Bella's sustainability garden.
So we're waiting for the Pleasure Beach Express to take us back to the Big Blue Hotel, which is where our car is parked for the end of our Pleasure Beach day, sadly. Here comes the Pleasure Beach Express now, and it is, as we mentioned in our room review, it is a brilliant perk of parking at the Big Blue that until about 4:30 you can get the Pleasure Beach Express to a designated station that will take you back to the hotel, so that you don't have to walk all the way back to the hotel from the main exit of the park, because that does take quite a long time. So we're going to grab a ride on the Pleasure Beach Express. Not ridden it for a while, so it will be great to get back on it and go around the park. Here we are on the Pleasure Beach Express, now taking us back to the Big Blue, where our day at the Pleasure Beach, in fact 2 days that we've had here now, goes so fast you forget what day you're on. But that will be the finale of our Blackpool Pleasure Beach season, really. We've obviously got Efteling to look forward to, so we won't be without coasters and rides for too long. Really nice to get back on the Pleasure Beach Express because we haven't ridden it for a while. We're normally too late to get this back to the Big Blue because we normally like to get as many rides in on Valhalla as possible. So it's nice to get back on. It's a good opportunity for us, I think, to reflect upon the highlights and the lowlights, really, of both this visit and our previous visits as our first year of being premium pass holders for the Blackpool Pleasure Beach. What highlights do you want to reflect upon?
For me, the highlight definitely was our 9 rides on Valhalla yesterday. It was just so fun. Obviously, got loads of rides in, and the ride was operating the best night is operating since we've been here, really.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. It won't be a surprise to anybody. I think Icon as well. We've had a lot of re-rides on Icon over the past 2 days, getting both on the back and the front rows. So that's been a real highlight. It's interesting that actually, as we are on the Pleasure Beach Express, currently we're coming up to Infusion, just going through the tunnel. And it might be quite difficult to hear us at this point. But as we come out of the tunnel and we can see Big Dipper and we can see Infusion, I would say Infusion is probably a low light for me on this trip.
It wasn't the best. But then you don't need a steeplechase either early this morning.
No, we've had a few rough rides today, which I think we'd probably rather forget. But on the whole, I think this trip has just been superb. September is just such a great time to visit. It's brilliant, it's quiet, it's still got really good atmosphere, but it's not crazy queue time, so you do get the opportunity for lots of re-rides on your favourite. Today we've got round so many rides. We'll do a summary right at the end of this video, as we always do. But yeah, I think it's definitely a great time to come. We will be back probably in March to the Pleasure Beach. Don't think we will get back beforehand. And we'll leave you with some highlights of the Pleasure Beach Express as we make our way back round. Please do continue to support us. We absolutely love your support for the channel as we continue to grow. There's so many of us out there who really enjoy showcasing theme park content, and so we are so grateful for you guys who tune in, who put a comment, who take the time to tell us what you enjoy about the channel and what you'd like to see. So please do continue to do that. Please do continue to subscribe to us, to brave the adventures with us once more.
On this trip we rode
Big One, Steeplechase, Blue Flyer, Rugrats Lost River, SpongeBob Splashback, The Ghost Train, Infusion, Wallace and Gromit Thrill-O-Matic, Grand National, Icon, Alice's Wonderland, Derby Racer, Pleasure Beach Express, Avalanche,
and Valhalla.